surface mackerel and other hardtail fish that would come by and eat them. And so these are the survivors. These are the guys that have made it so far, the 8-month period. And so they're getting kind of big. They're about ready to breed. They're about breeding size. And when they do get that size, they'll probably leave the submarine. They'll probably take off. But at the time being, they're going to stay right with us. They sleep on the submarine. They stay with it wherever it goes. If it goes down to 100 feet, well, so do they. So, yeah. They eat the algae that grows on the outside of this vessel. They eat plankton in the water. And they hide in the cracks and crevices created by the submarine's ballast tanks. Pretty cool fish, actually. They're very delicious if you get a chance to catch. You catch these guys on the shoreline. They kind of taste like crappie if you're familiar with that fish on the mainland. Or perch. They're kind of like a perch. Look, as you look around, we're getting away from the island, and you can notice that we've lost the coral reef. This is a really good time to find some big predators. You want to look for the ulua, with a giant trevally, a silver fish with a big black eye, can weigh up to about 200 pounds. He's a favorite of our local anglers. People love to catch this guy because he puts up such a tremendous fight. I don't know if you know this, but Kona is a quaint drinking village with a fishing problem. We're all trying to catch the big marlin and the ulua. You might have seen that we have the Hawaii International Billfish Tournament. That originated here in Kona thanks to a man named George Parker. He caught the first 1,000-pound marlin here off the coast. In fact, your captain and pilot, Captain Tomo Jolly Rogers, once held the world record for the largest marlin. 1,450 pounds it was, 18 feet long. Pretty impressive. He won that billfish tournament one year. Yeah, that fish took him 36 hours and 40 cases of beer, by the way. You also want to look for the moray eel. It'll be poking its head up out of the ocean floor. It'll look like a handheld sock puppet with killer white viper fangs. The moray eel is a formidable predator. Fortunately for us, he's almost blind, so we're not very likely to get bit by him unless we put our hands in his mouth. The moray eel can grow to be 80 feet long and weigh over 4,000 pounds. Yeah, that's not true. I just made that up. Yeah, that would be the scariest thing on the planet, and we would never ever come down here. I just say that to make sure you're on your toes. No, the moray eel is not that big, folks. It doesn't have to be big. It's scary enough already. It has two sets of jaws. There's one set that bites you and holds you, and if there's another set back in the throat of the eel, which will come forward, grab whatever's in the eel's mouth, and drag it down into the esophagus. So if you stick your hand in the crack and you don't get it back, that's a moray. I'm under a lot of pressure, folks. Come on. Give me a break. Substandard humor. I don't know what to tell you. We've arrived at our second shipwreck. Check it out. This is the lady. As I said, we're going to bring you a little romance. Besides the long-nosed butterfly fish, there's a nice romantic story to go along with this. There's a little juvenile ulua out there. That little silver guy. Ooh, a black one too. A black ulua. There's a shark underneath the boat. Check it out, folks. White-tipped reef shark sitting right there. Wow. That ulua's not liking that. We got three major predators right there. Look, they're going to kind of bully him back up under there. This is their territory. They're not digging that white tip hanging around. You see him up under the boat, folks? Wow, that's pretty cool. I don't know who to talk about first, the boat, the shark, or the ulua. Three really cool guys hanging out all together. The white-tipped reef shark is a very special shark. It's very different from his other cousins. He actually has the ability, what makes him so special is what he's doing for you right now is lying still for a long period of time. Other sharks cannot do that. They would die if they tried to do that. Most sharks have what is known as a water vascular system. They have to constantly maintain a certain amount of water rushing over their gills to stay alive. This shark doesn't have to do that. He has a swim bladder. That's a special organ that allows him to pump water into his gills, and so he can lie still if he wants to. He's the most likely shark species that we see from the submarine. There's another reason for that. He is more likely to be seen in the daytime because he is a corpuscular animal, one that feeds at dawn and at dusk instead of being purely nocturnal like most other sharks are. Did everybody get to see those little ulua as well? There's a silver one and a black one out there. They're juveniles. They will get huge as long as they're not eaten. Now they're going to kind of bully that shark and make sure he stays up under that boat. Let's talk about this boat real quick. It was a honeymoon gift for two young lovers from Alaska, and they decided that they were going to sail it down to paradise to begin their married life. Once they got down here and they got established, husband got a phone call. He had to go rush back and take care of his ailing parents, and what he thought was going to be 1 month turned into about 3 months, and he left his young bride all by herself here on the boat. She became so desperately lonely. She wanted to see her husband so bad. And after a whole bunch of alcohol, she decided a flare gun was the best way to get his attention. Unfortunately, she shot her propane tank, which exploded. The boat caught fire, and it sank so quickly that the keel, or the underside of this vessel, is actually stabbed in the ocean floor. So that's a good rule of thumb. Don't mix loneliness, alcohol, and the flare gun. Basically, she had just enough time to jump off the boat. She swam over to the nearest dinner cruise. She climbed aboard, and while everyone was enjoying their steak and lobster, she decided to take off all of her wet clothes and pass out behind the bar. And so this boat is actually known as the Naked Lady. And if you would like to go scuba diving on this boat, at some point you're going to have the awkward moment of asking, can we go look at the Naked Lady? Or even worse, can we dive on the Naked Lady? A beautiful vessel, again, serving as an artificial reef out here in this desert of white sand. But again, something else is happening that you may or may not be seeing. This boat is also serving as a type of prison. Now, these animals that are out here have gotten out here by following the submarine, or where they were caught in some sort of air current that brought them out to the boat. So they're stuck here. If they want to go back to the coral reef, they're going to become bait in about 3 seconds. Look at these allure. They're just waiting for one of them to decide to take off and make a dash for it. So try to see the Alua as the wardens and all these other guys as little prisoners. But don't feel sorry for them. They're okay. They have really no short-term memory whatsoever. All these fish are swimming around, and every 10 seconds or so they say, oh, look, a boat.
Yeah.
You still see that shark up under there? Did he take off? Yeah, he's up under there. I see him. Stuffed himself pretty deep, though. Yeah, I see him. He's up under the boat. These large bluefish that are coming up to your viewport occasionally, these are pualu, or eyeline surgeonfish. This is the character Dory from Finding Nemo, so tell her to just keep swimming. This is the second fish that modifies its behavior to our presence, except she sees us like a giant ice cream truck. She loves this freshwater algae that we carry on the submarine. She can't find it out here, so she'll come up right up to the viewports and start eating it. Look right near the base of her tail. You'll see a hole out of which a very sharp bone can protrude that is sharper than a surgeon's scalpel, and she uses that to defend herself against predators. She's known as the eyeline surgeonfish, or the pualu. All right, I hope that everybody enjoyed. Oh, take a look at your depth gauges. 110 feet. Congratulations, you are the newest members of the Triple Digit Club. 1/10 of 1% of the entire world's population that has had the benefit of going down in a submarine past 100 feet. For many of you, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Take this moment, remember it forever by giving your neighbor the deepest kiss they've ever had. We're going to turn communications over to your pilot, Captain Tom O'Jolly Rogers. He's going to call the surface and find out what's up.
Literally.
Atlantis Surface, this is Atlantis 10. We've concluded our tour. We're just a little bit north of the lady right now. And we have been down to 112 feet. Request permission to surface.
Atlantis, you got permission to surface. Stay below 40 and heading 040.
Radar 40040.
All right, your pilot just released a huge amount of air. It's going to go all the way to the surface, marking it with a turquoise footprint. That lets everybody know exactly what